Me and my mates are a burn crew called Pyroglyphics, and we decided that what it looked like they were trying to do was get a nautical theme, something that represented the serrated coastline of Northern California. So we picked a lighthouse, but we decided that this was the third lighthouse that's been to Burning Man, so we wanted to do something unique with it. So we twisted it. Local artists built, designed and fabricated 8 stained glass panels that are going to go up on the top. And we'll have a rotating light with 7 LED diodes. So it should be a nice beacon for everybody out in a boat on the playa. It's 125 levels of flat pack 2x material. The first 25 levels are 2x12, and then they shrink in dimensions every 25 levels. So the next level is 2x10, 2x8, and ad infinitum up to 2x4. And each level has 10 pieces, and each piece is 5/32 of an inch shorter than the piece on top of it. So it was very, very minutia carpentry, and we built it in a shop, and it took us 5 weeks just to build the tower. Yes, it came out in 2 pieces, so it was laying on its side today, and we just had a crane pop it up. We spent 5 weekends building it. We take each level every weekend. Each piece, there's 1,250 pieces of wood in the fuselage of the body. Each piece was planed 3 times, joined twice, and then mitered to perfection so that it would work right, because every one of these levels shifts by 1 degree and shrinks by 0.44 inches. So if you start getting off even a 64th of an inch over 13 feet, everything can get compounded, and it would be the screwed up lighthouse, not the twisted up lighthouse. So we do analog burns. We just let the fire do its thing. So we try to engineer the structure to predict and anticipate what the fire can do, maybe even control it. So our ethos is we don't build things then light them on fire, we build them to light on fire. Yeah, well, this is interesting. We've been playing with the fuselage, what do we call it, a combustible flue for a couple of our designs, and we rifle chamber the inside. So if you can imagine right now, you can't see it. When it was on its side you could, but for every level of 2x4, there's 2x material that forms the octagons. Inside is a brace, and a 2x4 brace, and there's 125 braces that twist inside to form a rifle chamber. So when we light it on fire, what should happen out here is you'll get fire tornadoes whipping out the top. It's designed in such a way too that this structure won't ever catch on fire like in fully engulfed flames. It'll burn like a wax candle. So the fire will always shoot out the top like a missile, but this should gradually just kind of burn down. We made a prototype for this on New Year's Eve last year and burned it in my yard, and to figure out how it would work out. And we discovered that it burns from top down, and if we're lucky, we'll have some road flares in on the top. They will help ignite some of the off-gas, the off-gassing that gets stuck inside that chamber because it's airtight. So every once in a while, it should just go poof, poof, all by itself. We're little kids. We're all professional builders and designers, and this is our playtime. So for us, we want to build something that when you're watching it, you expect it to burn, but then it does something you didn't think it was going to do. And we're trying to control the fire is like trying to lasso water. I mean, you really can't do it. It's irrational. But you can kind of cheat the design a little bit to help it along. We've done a lot of kinetic burns where when our structures catch on fire, they move, they open up, they do something. So, but for us, it's definitely new. It'll always be new. We're mischievous. We realize that fire has a lot of motifs that go with it. We just want to see it look beautiful when it burns. That's all we care about. We love burning. It's great. We spend all this time and energy building it we think that when you light it on fire is when the art realizes its ultimate expression. It was built to burn. So it looks pretty when it's not burnt, but we want to see it burn, and we want to see it beautiful. We want to see people clapping and feeling good about themselves. And I like coming out here in the event and just building the infrastructure. And last year it was really neat to see that Burning Man made an effort to introduce regional artists, smaller scale artists who can't compete with some of the more evolved artists out here. And it's a wonderful way to fold in. Burning Man's trying to get regional events to be more developed, and it's nice to see it's almost like a Mobius strip. Burning Man putting effort out to regionals out in the real world, but then also folding the regionals back into the event. So it becomes this beautiful feedback loop. This is our first collaborative art, and we had a blast. A lot of fun. We hope to do it again. Absolutely. And it's fun being out here with all the other artists, because you feel like, oh, this is great. We're all playing. We're all building our forts. Freud said of creativity once, So the definition of creativity is regression of the ego in service of the self. It's remembering as an adult what it's like to be a child running through the playground in your imagination at the same time. And Burning Man and this ability to come out and build art is an awesome auditorium for us all to tap into that.